If you're looking for nightmares that will haunt you long after the credits roll, you've come to the right place. Netflix is packed with terrifying films, but only the strongest can handle the 10 scariest horror movies to watch in 2025. So grab your popcorn if you dare and let's count them down. 10. Hereditary. Kicking off our list is Hereditary, a psychological horror masterpiece that messes with your mind and soul. When the Graham family experiences a tragic loss, they soon discover a sinister force tied to their ancestry. What starts as a slow-burn drama quickly spirals into pure nightmare fuel, with disturbing imagery, intense family breakdowns, and some of the most shocking horror moments in modern cinema. Toni Collette delivers a powerhouse performance that will leave you shaken, and the final act is nothing short of a descent into hell. If you haven't seen Hereditary, prepare for an experience that lingers long after the credits roll. 9. It's What's Inside. Ever wonder what's lurking beneath the surface of your closest friends? It's What's Inside takes paranoia to a new level. A group of friends gathers for a seemingly normal reunion, only for their deepest secrets to unravel in horrifying ways. As tension rises, reality itself begins to blur, and the group realizes that something sinister is manipulating them. This film blends psychological dread with supernatural horror, keeping you on edge with shocking twists and an eerie atmosphere. Just when you think you've figured it out, It's What's Inside delivers another gut punch, making you question who, if anyone, can be trusted. 8. Calibre. This isn't your typical horror, but its terror is deeply unsettling. Calibre follows two friends on a hunting trip in the Scottish Highlands that spirals into a gut-wrenching nightmare after a fatal accident. What follows is a tense, anxiety-inducing descent into paranoia as they desperately try to cover up their mistake. The villagers seem to know more than they let on, and the suffocating tension builds to a horrifying climax. With no supernatural elements, Calibre proves that the darkest horrors come from within, and that guilt can be the scariest monster of all. 7. A classic horror story, meta, twisted, and completely unsettling. A classic horror story plays with your expectations before ripping them to shreds. A group of strangers stranded in the woods stumbles upon an eerie house, but what starts as a typical horror setup quickly spirals into something far more disturbing. With gruesome cult rituals, surreal visuals, and a narrative that constantly subverts horror tropes, this film is a mind-bending ride. It's part Midsommar, part Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and entirely its own beast. If you love horror that messes with your head, this one is a must-watch. 6. Sumala. A haunting mix of Filipino folklore and modern horror, Sumala tells the story of a woman who returns to her village after years away, only to be plagued by a vengeful spirit tied to an unspeakable tragedy. As she unravels the mystery of the town's dark past, she realizes that some ghosts refuse to stay buried. With chilling cinematography, an eerie atmosphere, and terrifying depictions of Filipino mythological entities, Sumala is a bone-chilling tale that lingers in your subconscious long after the film ends. 5. Tarot. What happens when a simple card reading turns into a death sentence? Tarot follows a group of friends who unknowingly unleash a deadly curse through a mystical deck. Each card drawn reveals a terrifying fate, and one by one they meet gruesome ends. The film takes full advantage of its eerie premise, delivering creative, terrifying set pieces reminiscent of Final Destination. As the body count rises, so does the tension, making Tarot a relentless supernatural horror experience that keeps you guessing until the very end. 4. The Possession of Hannah Grace. Possession horror has never been this disturbing. The Possession of Hannah Grace follows a night shift morgue worker who receives a violently disfigured corpse. But the horror doesn't end with death. Strange occurrences begin happening around the morgue, and soon she realizes that whatever possessed Hannah Grace is still inside the body. The film thrives on its claustrophobic setting, eerie sound design, and terrifying visuals, making every moment feel suffocatingly tense. If you think exorcisms are only scary when the victim is alive, this film will make you think again. 3. Incantation. Found footage horror reaches new levels of terror with Incantation, a Taiwanese film inspired by real-life religious taboos. The story of a mother trying to break a deadly curse on her daughter is terrifying. But what makes it worse? The film actively involves you, the viewer, in its chilling ritual. By breaking the fourth wall and urging the audience to chant along, Incantation makes you feel like part of the curse. With a terrifying blend of supernatural horror, folklore, and disturbing found footage elements, this one stays with you long after the credits roll. 2. The Wretched. Witches, possession, and sinister folklore come together in The Wretched. a film that turns a summer vacation into a descent into horror. A teenage boy suspects his neighbor isn't who she seems, and he's right. She's a child-snatching entity that erases its victims from existence. With eerie visuals, creepy creature effects, and relentless suspense, The Wretched blends Fright Night with The Witch, creating an unsettling tale of supernatural terror. Its unnerving premise and chilling execution make it an unforgettable horror experience. At the top of our list is Death Whisperer 2, the terrifying sequel to the Indonesian horror hit. Picking up where the first film left off, it dives deeper into the lingering curse and the horrifying truths hidden beneath its terrifying legend. As the spirits grow stronger and the terror intensifies, the film delivers an onslaught of nightmare-inducing imagery and heart-stopping scares. Indonesian horror has been on the rise, and Death Whisperer 2 proves why. It's atmospheric, terrifying, and full of unexpected twists. If you're looking for a film that will leave you sleeping with the lights on, this is it. There you have it, the 10 scariest horror movies on Netflix in 2025. Which ones have you watched? Which ones are you brave enough to try? Let us know in the comments below, if you can sleep after watching any of these.